Big Dash knows what?
So first things first, the New York Giants beat the Washington Commanders 14-7. The New York Giants in their 4-game losing streak, so that's fantastic. I'm happy about that. One thing I will say, I'm not happy about how this game turned out. It should have never been close. It should have never been, the Washington Commanders in the fourth quarter with a chance to win this game. It should have never been like that. The score should have been something like 24-0, but again, it is the New York Giants. I understand, what's going on, but at the end of the day, it should not have been such a close game, and it should not have been so hard for the New York Giants, to get this victory. First off, shout out to the defense. Shout out to the defense for doing some spectacular things today. And for the third week in a row, we've seen this defense is starting to come into its own. So I'm happy about that. Wink Martindale showing his aggressiveness again, like we always, like we expect him to do. And I'm happy with that. 5-6 sacks today on Sam Howell, and that's what you're supposed to do. When you have a young quarterback that you believe that you can rattle, you keep sending that pressure, you let him make those mistakes. Now, with that said, there's a couple of interceptions that were left there. I think we might have had a chance at about 4 interceptions that we did not get, at least 3. And the most egregious one is going to be Kayvon Thibodeaux. Kayvon Thibodeaux, that's a touchdown right there. That's a touch. You can moonwalk. You can moonwalk into the end zone if you catch that ball. And those are the kind of plays that need to be made if you're going to be that type of superstar that you want to be. That's the play that you make. Because if you do that, the New York Giants go up 21-0, 21-7 at the time probably. And you know what? And it makes it that much more comfortable, and you pretty much kill any kind of momentum that the Commanders have going into that fourth quarter. You need to make that play. Saquon Barkley with the fumble. Oh my God. I'm sitting here. I'm watching the game. My wife is sitting next to me waiting for her Steelers game to start. And we're like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm praying. I'm hoping that, his butt cheeks was down. But no, he gets stripped in the red zone. That's awful. That cannot happen. That cannot happen no matter what, especially when the game is that close, when you don't have that momentum going and it's starting to swing the Washington Commanders' way. After you get the big play from Jalin Hyatt as well, it's like every time a good play happens with Jalin Hyatt, something bad follows up. And it's crazy to me. And it's a lot of things that we can talk about. Again, please don't get me wrong. I am happy with the win. I am absolutely happy with the win. The New York Giants are 2-5. We finally got another win after 4 weeks. So I'm happy about that, but it's just so many things that I have to talk about. As a New York Giants fan, I have to talk about these things, whether it's good or bad, wins or losses. You have to talk about certain things. And why do we even play around with the play action right now? We're on our 6th, I believe they said our 6th lineup when it comes to the offensive line. Every time we run that play action, nothing good happens. Going all the way back to San Francisco, going all the way back to the Dallas game. We saw it again with the Washington Commanders game. We get a big play, about 14 yards. Darren Waller, Tyrod Taylor to Darren Waller. Big play for the first down. The next play, you run that play action, and we get a sack, loss of 13 yards. It kills the drive. It makes me mad. I get angry when I think about things like this, because that's you making the decision to make it harder than it has to be. We have not been successful with the play action at all this whole season, but you still decide to run that. What makes it even worse is it's after one of these big plays. So yes, again, if you're tuning in right now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not just smiling, cheering, and happy that the New York Giants won this game. Trust me, I am happy that we won this game. Just win. I just wanted to win the game. Absolutely. But when you see things left on the field, you have to talk about them. You have to talk about them. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I will go back to the good. The defense getting pressure. Dexter Lawrence looking like Dexter Lawrence. Shout out to Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams making plays, getting sacks. Also, the big blocked field goal. Super. Deonte Banks gets his first interception. Shout out to him. And he's drawn with Terry McLaurin, and I'm loving it. I love it. Please do not coach that aggressiveness out of him. Yes, he got some flags for holding, but please don't coach that aggressiveness out of him. I'm happy with that. Xavier McKinney made some plays. Pinnock continues to impress me, and that's fantastic. You had Micah McFadden get in there. Kayvon Thibodeau getting pressure. Even Jahad Ward was in there setting the edge a little bit. So, shout out to the defense as a whole. And again, this is the third week in a row where the New York Giants defense seems to be stepping up, and hopefully the offense can follow that, because they had a couple of good plays where the Giants were able to get the turnover, and we're able to reward our defense by scoring points after their turnover. And we only were able to do that, once this game, but we had the chance to do that 2 more times. Again, misses a field goal. And then you have the muff punt from Sterling Shepard. That's another thing. And then the fumble also by Kayvon Thibodeau. So back to the fumble by Saquon Barkley. But back to the special teams a little bit. Why can't we figure this thing out? Why can't we figure out fielding a punt? Every time they punt the ball, every time any team punts the ball, I'm stressed out. Are we going to be able to catch it? Fair catch it? Field it? Are we going to be able to can we do anything without making the fans sweat? I don't understand why we make it so hard to just make plays. Pause. Why do we make it so difficult? Field. So we go from Eric Gray. He muffs a punt. Luckily, we were able to recover it. Then we go to Sterling Shepard. Fields one, tries to return one, muffs one. That turns into the only points that the Washington Commanders score. And then you got Darius Slayton back there pretty much, letting it either bounce or, at this point in time, I don't know if it's going to be Wan'Dale Robinson, Paris Campbell. Put somebody back there that can catch. Thomas Magui, Mr. Magoo is what I call him. Figure that out. For the life of your job, please figure that out. Please figure it out. Just get somebody back there that can field it, that can field a punt. Just get somebody out there that can do that. Just secure it. Can we do that? Hopefully we can get that going. But again, even though it's a win, I'm happy for the win. It should have been like 24-0. This game should have been 24-0. And I'm only saying that because, Gano had that field goal. Had he made that field goal, that's 17 points. Had we not fumbled, Saquon Barkley late in that game, and we get the touchdown there as well, then, that's 24 points. So it should have been 24-0. It should have been 24-0. Again, I didn't engage a lot in the spaces this week. Again, I'm super duper busy, still coming off of the move. Didn't get a chance to talk trash like I wanted to talk trash. And I don't even feel right talking trash now because I didn't talk going up to the game. I'm not going to sit back and talk trash to these people now. But I will say this, though. I heard everything that people were saying, everything I heard it all. I sat in these spaces and I listened to people talk on both sides. And again, the New York Giants beat the Washington Commanders. Hopefully this is one of those games where we can get right, call it a get right game. Next week we have the Jets. We're going to see what happens there. Zach Wilson, that's a tough defense. But as long as we can play the way that we're playing right now with our defense, Zach Wilson and that offense, I think we can be able to make some plays. Can we get them to make some turnovers? Can we score on defense possibly? Again, oh man, it hurts so bad. Kayvon Thibodeau, that would have been a fantastic play to add to your resume. A fantastic play to add to your resume. That's what hurts the most about it, because you've already dealt with the grumblings. You're having to prove people wrong. You're having to talk to the fan base. You're having to talk to you hear all the stuff that's going on. That play right there shuts a lot of people up. It gives you a little bit more time, gives you a little bit more leeway, a little bit more slack. That's what that play would have did. Not only it would have got us a game too. The game would have been over as soon as that would have happened. Momentum would have been dead, and the Giants again should have been like 24-0. And actually, with that point, you're probably looking at cracking 30 points if we're able to do that. So again, can't cry over spilled milk too much. This is a fresh reaction of the game. I'm happy that the New York Giants won, but still was just quite. And one more thing too. I'm sorry. I started to talk about it before. We keep trying to force the run game. And we saw that with the touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley. You can get Saquon involved in the game without running the ball. With Barkley, we could not run the ball to save our lives today. Against that defensive front, that is a strong defensive front that the Washington Commanders have. And we kept trying to force the run. But we saw when we got Saquon Barkley involved in the passing game, we were able to move the ball and get some points. Stop playing around with the tight formations. Go ahead and spread these teams out. It helps us out. It'll help you guys out. I don't care what kind of pass rushers they have. Spread that defense out. Spread the offense out and try to make those plays downfield. You saw Hyatt. You saw the deep crossing routes with Waller. You saw these guys get involved. When you spread that offense out, that formation needs to be spread out. Period. I don't care who we are playing, who the pass rushers are for the other defensive team. When we get into these tight formations, yes, I know it's a reaction to what the defense is doing, but that's what's best for the New York Giants. Stop being so reactionary and start dictating how you want to run your offense. And I think the best way to do that is with spreading the ball out. Spreading the formation out and letting that ball fly. Nobody is running with Hyatt. I'm going to tell you that right now. He doesn't have the numbers that he should have because the Giants have, it's a couple of things why he doesn't have the, he's not getting the snaps. Quarterbacks are not taking the chances. We saw for 2 weeks straight now where Tyrod Taylor is at least willing to take the chances, and you see that every time that happens, Jalen Hyatt does something spectacular. Just be lucky he didn't catch that pass in the end zone. That one touch, he almost had the one-hander. If he makes that, if he gets that, then the new legend of the new number 13 in New York Giants starts with that, because that would have been a spectacular one-handed touchdown catch, and it would have been deja vu. Not as great as what Odell Beckham did. Not at all. Not saying that. You see, Odell Beckham is still up here. He's still up here. Still a Giant in my heart. But I'm just saying, if Jalen Hyatt makes that touchdown pass, that new legend begins with Jalen Hyatt with a new 13 in New York City. But again, that didn't happen. But we have the Jets next week. I'm excited for this game. I think this game is something that we can win, especially if the defense is going to play the way that they're playing. Again, that New York Jets defense is an absolute monster too. So I don't think we can afford to try to do those tight formations. No. Spread it out and try to find a mismatch. Wherever Darren Waller is, you try to find that mismatch. They have great corners with the Jets. Secondary is fantastic. Linebackers are good too. You try to find a matchup. If you can get Waller on a Mosley somehow, if you can get Barkley on the Mosley somehow, those are the type of mismatches that you want to be aggressive with. So shout out to the New York Giants for the win. Shout out to Wink Martindale for coaching a fantastic game. Mike Kafka, Brian Dable, get it together. Figure out what the heck is going on. Get it together. Andrew Thomas, I don't know what kind of slow cooker you got your hamstring on. We need that JMS with the shoulder. Please figure that out too, because I need to make a little bit of a run. I said it before, it's one game at a time, but I need these next 3 games. We got 1 down, 2 more to go with the Jets and then the Raiders. Hopefully we can make something happen. And before we play Dallas again, we're 4-5. I need that to happen in order to get some more liveliness, in these videos and in social media. But that's going to be the video. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.